Simon Holst, and this is Everyday Easy. What I'm going to start with today is I'd like to make some satay meatballs. It's a really easy family meal. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is going to start with my rice. So I've got a cup of long grain rice, fry that in a bowl, a couple of cups of hot water, and then the way I cook rice, and I think everyone's got their own way, but what works for me is I put it in the microwave for 15 minutes on 50% power. Pinch of salt, and it's good to go. What I've got here is kind of my base recipe for meatballs. So I've got 3 slices of bread, just going to tear those up roughly, whack those in the processor. So we're just going to whiz those into fine or sort of medium crumbs. Then I'm going to add small onion. So easiest way to deal with an onion, just top and bottom off, cut it in half, then with any luck the skin just sort of peels off nicely like that, and pop it in the processor. And now I'm going to add my minced meat, and in this case, for these ones, for my satay meatballs, I'm actually using lamb, but if I wanted to make a sort of Mediterranean mixture, I just use minced beef, and like I say, it's a base mixture, and the only difference would be that I'm going to you just change the seasoning. So if I was going to make Italian meatballs, I'd add some oregano and some basil. For these ones, I'm just going to add a little bit of lemon juice. Also going in there, 1 large egg. About a teaspoon of salt. So what you need to do now, obviously, is shape your meatballs. So if you work with wet hands when you're doing something like shaping meatballs, the meat won't actually stick to your hands. Just so I get the portions roughly right, divide it into half, then quarters, and then you want each quarter into about half again, make that into a ball. I can start popping in. And this really is a one-dish meal, because what I'm going to do next is make the sauce. But rather than browning the meatballs, taking them out, and then sort of, you know, having to fiddle about, I'm just going to add all the sauce ingredients to the pan as well. And you can see they're beginning to brown nicely. And if you see any that aren't, you know, moving when you shake the pan about, just give them a little gentle sort of prod, and we'll make sure they're browning on all sides. And for the sauce, we've got a couple of cloves of garlic. Squash it under the flat of a knife. Just chop that up. We want the garlic nice and fine. Garlic's going to go into the pan with the meatballs. They're beginning to look pretty good now. Teaspoon of cumin. Teaspoon of coriander. Some chili powder, and not a huge amount of chili powder. Just, you know, sort of, you can add it to taste, but I reckon around 1/4 to half teaspoon. Couple of tablespoons of lemon juice. And this is the bit, of course, that makes it satay sauce, is the peanut butter. So about half a cup of peanut butter. Need some hot water, again about half a cup of hot water. The other thing we want is some sweet. So also going in there, about 1/4 cup of brown sugar. The last thing we need in there is our salty, which is just a couple of tablespoons of dark soy sauce, and that really colours up the sauce as well. And it's just a matter of simmering those in that sauce just to make sure the meatballs are completely cooked through. And then by the time your rice is cooked, you should be ready to serve. Got my rice here, just give it a nice fluff up, and again, you know, the beauty of microwaving rice is you just bang it in, forget it, and I get it pretty much the way I like it every time. So, fluff up your rice, and you can see the sauce has thickened up nicely. Give those a last stir, and we're ready to serve. A little bit of green on the plate, and you're good to go. A simple meal in 15 minutes.